amazing, too, because Penn State is a much larger team with 6'7" Hurricanes, 6'5" Campina, 6'5" Hardy, up against the 6'1" Wiltons and Pichel.
Apparently large doesn't always count in volleyball, Heather.
There's a lot of coaches that recruit just on size, but quickness is key.
Milo whacks it wide, and Penn State gets a point. So Penn State trying to create a little momentum. Penn State 4, Hawaii 2.
Let's see now if they can cause a little bit of pressure with their serve. Help their defense out. That will not help.
Of course, everybody in the islands right now thinking about that UC Santa Barbara match in which Hawaii was favored to win, but Santa Barbara came away with the win.
Very tough to forget.
Yeah, and so
Hawaii likely got the at-large berth.
Down the line, Katz dinks it, and it's poked out of bounds. Well, Hawaii was the most representative team. They had the best record, and in all the tiebreakers, they finished ahead of UC Santa Barbara, but still a great season for Ken Preston and the Gauchos. Nobody wants to play them, or nobody wanted to play them. Everybody, Hawaii, UCLA, everybody talking about how well Santa Barbara played at the
MPSF. They've had a tremendous season.
Here's Pichel, and Pichel is into the net. So we're starting to get some service errors. That's 15 now for Hawaii. 4 service aces. And it's 4-3. Penn State by a point. Into the middle, nice reception. Good dig by Kepner. And Leoni digs Contreras. Going to Yuval.
You know, Chris, I'm surprised that Penn State isn't putting 3 up when they can. Contreras was right there. Could have blocked in the third blocker, but instead went behind. You see Contreras can get there, but he goes to dig the tip. Against Hotz, get 3 blockers up, pull your right back up to dig that tip shot.
Shank pass, point. Naveh Milo, give him an ace. That's the 5th for Hawaii.
We've said it all season. Hawaii relies on their ace to play defense for them. They average 2.5 aces a game, but look at the hustle from the freshman Otto. Just won't give up.
Otto jamming it off Wilton. Nicely done. So Otto gets the kill. His first.
Got to remember, though, when you're looking at Justin Otto, as good as he is, history is not in his favor. The only players that have been freshman starting setters that have won a national championship, big names like Parch Fry, Ricky Ludi, they have won, but it is a tough thing to come home to.
Block there. Pampino is there with Otto, and a timeout is called. So after losing the first 2 games, Penn State showing a little sign of life. Here in Game 3, the Nittany Lions lead the Rainbows 5-4. Here in Westwood, California, the man doing most of the smoking is Yuval Katz. You see him there. He has Hawaii leading this match 2-0. However, the Nittany Lions in blue, Penn State leading 5-4 here in Game 3, along with former Pacific star Heather Cox. I'm Chris Marlowe. Hawaii has played beautifully through 2 games. The Rainbows, the #1 team in the nation virtually the entire season, as Hawaii ties it up 5-5. Rainbows coming in as a big favorite here.
You know, Chris, it's interesting, though. You talk about experience. Hawaii plays in a much tougher conference in the MPSF, but they hadn't lost a game. Hadn't really been challenged until UCSB in the finals of the MPSF tournament. The only game they had lost was way back March 16th to BYU. But a lot of people say that Penn State doesn't have the edge with the experience because they play in a weaker EIVA in the Eastern Conference. Therefore, they rely on their subs to really challenge them every day. Hawaii has the edge in that competition.
Ball put away, Jason Ring. They like to set him a lot in the pipe area, and the pipe is just the center of the court. Kind of confusing to the blockers. They get there a little bit late.
But a nice low set gives Ring the opportunity to come all the way to the half-court line and really extend on that approach. 5-5
is our score. Yuval Katz set to serve. 17-2-1. Hawaii with 15 service errors. Their most this year. They had 29 service errors twice. Once against UCLA and once against Santa Barbara in that ill-fated match a week ago. Set left. Pancake by Wilton. No, spatula was not there. So the attempt by Wilton.
Healy caught here in that window. All he can do is tip. Katz has got to read that coming closer.
Contreras has been held in check. pretty well by Hawaii so far, hitting a little over 120. And Wilton, beautiful play by Wilton. It was a little tight, and Penn State was there, and he whacked it up high.
But Milo and Wilton doing such a great job passing. They're the two primary passers. In fact, I would say 2 of the top 5 passers in the country. They take 98% of the balls for the Rainbows and are just really allowing Pichel to run his offense.
5-5 is our score. Otto sets left, and Kepner got it. So Jason Kepner has kill number 8. Okay, he's got the neatest hair in volleyball. Not a strand moves. He should be a television broadcaster.
There you go.
5-5. Acers! Pampina. That was the easiest lollipop in the history of serving.
I think I just jinxed Wilton, but look at this. It's just like a dying quail right there. Falls right in front of Wilton. Wilton's got to move his feet, get his platform under it.
6-5.
Oh, again.
Milo got there. Leoni with the off speed. Here comes Contreras. See ya.
Nice execution by Contreras. And Geely stepping in for Otto. Otto passed the ball. Geely at opposite is that second setter. Contreras only hitting 121 on the night so far, but much better in game 3.
Penn State up by 2 now. 7-5. Here comes Hotz. Dug up. Chance for a point. Geely. Yes! David Geely, little used in the first couple of games, now getting some sets. And a timeout is called by Hawaii. Hawaii leading the match 2 games to none, but look out, Penn State starting to get a little bit of momentum. Back at Pauley Pavilion in Westwood, California, the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship semifinal number 1. Hawaii leading 2 games to none, but Penn State leading 8-5. Mike Wilton's squad has played beautifully so far. You see the service aces to errors. I think the serving has been that big a factor so far. As Milo goes over the top, I think Hawaii's just played all-around better volleyball, but I don't think the serving has really been that much.
Well, and I think a factor that doesn't show up in the stats is that Penn State, while they haven't made a ton of errors, haven't been serving very tough. The serves that are going in are right about that 15-foot line. Very easy for Milo and Wilton to pass.
16 service errors. As Leoni drops one, he's got the jump floater. He had very long hair last year. You might remember looking really creaturous last year.
And he went from a buzz early on in the season to kind of blowing it up. Oh.
Nice shot by Naveh Milo. 11 kills.
Look at the height that Milo gets. Great athlete from that swing position, coming as the primary passer, coming around against his body, and he still gets tremendous power on the attack.
Erik Pichel, cross court. And the misconnection, costly error for Penn State, as that makes the score 8-6.
Pichel now with 3 attackers in the front court in Ring, Milo, and Katz. Deadly front line.
Beautiful pass there. Otto back set. And Kepner is rejected by Ring.
Swings 2 seconds earlier, they can use the block. Look at that, they're facing out to the outside of the court and then turn and pike in right at the right time. Look at the penetration from the Rainbow block.
Contreras. Pichel stole that one from Wilton. 15 kills for Yvonne Contreras. 8-7, Penn State by 1 here in game 3. Winner of this semifinal plays the winner of UCLA and Lewis University. Wow. Naveh Milo, I tell you, he's got great vision. He's seeing the hole because he just blasts it straight through every time. And
I love Pichel. He's such a great setter. He's looking at the lineup from Penn State. Right then, Otto went to block left front. Pichel saw it and went back to Milo rather than going outside to Katz on Contreras.
Hawaii down by 1. Geely dug up by Milo. Katz. And Contreras stops Katz.
Nice lineup. Contreras got right on the shoulder of Katz. Katz is blindsided because he has to watch the ball come over his shoulder, has to just swing away and hopes that he gets it by.
Katz so confident. It's 8-7. They'll set left, here comes Wilton, and Wilton got it through the hole again. Seems to be a lot of holes between the outside blocker and the middle blocker for Penn State.
Well, and that time Pampina, the middle blocker for Penn State, only went up with his right hand. He only had one hand up blocking that ball.
So good deception. It's a pretty good pass, set left. Contreras, cross court, off Wilton. So Contreras going inside of Leoni, field number 16 for him. And it's developed into a kind of a side-out battle here.
And nice offensive call by Justin Otto to swing Contreras all the way from the right front position to that high outside floor attack.
Perfect pass. And ring is rejected. Maybe it didn't go over. Pampina said I didn't touch it, but you never want to do that. It hits into the net. You say, I blocked it, I blocked it.
Except if you block it, you give Hawaii the opportunity. Otherwise, it's a dead ball.
9-7. Good point, Erik. Ace! I'll tell you, Justin Otto has a very interesting jump serve as a timeout is called. We'll take a look at it when we come back, but he has the Nittany Lions rumbling here, 10-7 Penn State. Back at Pauley Pavilion in Westwood, California. We're in game 3. Hawaii leads 2-0, but Penn State has got some momentum now, and head coach Mark Pavlik said earlier